Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you all a mobility movement here for the hips. This movement has been really effective for me in my preparation for a mountain race. It's been really good for hiking, for running, even for lifting. It's allowed my hips to move more freely, to have less tightness around them, to have less pain, especially after a heavy session on the weights or on the mountains and trails. So it's a mobility movement, so it's going to require a lot of concentration. It's going to require for you to slow down, to really focus on the tissues that you're working on, and you have to be really strict with yourself to only move the targeted joint, because then if not, you kind of defeat the purpose of the exercise. One thing to keep in mind here, a lot of the stuff that I've shown in the past in terms of mobility has been open chain, meaning that the leg that's working is like out here and floating and moving. For example, showed you all something like this here before, where this is the leg that we're working on. But now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna train the leg having contact with a surface. And what that's gonna change is that's gonna change the way in which the hip interacts. So when I do open chain, like the one I just showed standing up, think of this as being your pelvis, and this is your femur. We're moving the femur along the pelvis, but for this particular exercise here, we're gonna change it up and we're gonna move the pelvis along the femur. And it's a closed chain, so you're gonna have contact on the ground. So I'm doing it in this longer format here just so that I have more time to explain and to go into depth and detail here on the movements. So check this out. This is gonna be your setup. You're gonna be sitting down here close to the wall, laying down completely flat. You got your feet up about 90 degrees here, and I'm gonna be applying a little bit of pressure into the wall. I'm gonna have a roller here. You can do it with any kind of roller, really. I think it's best if it's a smaller one, but anyways. So I got it here. I'm gonna give it a gentle squeeze here in between my thighs. I don't want to crush it, but I also don't want to lose the roller during this entire movement. Okay, so this is my setup there. I'm squeezing the roller. I'm putting pressure into the wall, nice and flat here on the ground. What I'm going to do from here now is I'm going to lift my hips up off the ground just a little bit. So think about the bottom half of my body here, from my rib cage down is off the ground. There's space here, and the top half from my ribs on up is flat and in contact with the ground. So that's my setup right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my legs here up and down in this motion here, like so. Pulling one down as I actively pushing the other one up, and reverse. It takes quite a bit of concentration here. And one of the things that I want to focus on as well is as I'm moving up and down here, I don't want my hips to sway side to side like this. So let me do a few more reps here, a little bit more focus. So pressing into the wall, hips up off the ground, right here. Right leg goes up, left leg comes down, and we're alternating. Notice I lost the roller there a little bit, so it makes me have to focus a little bit more. Straight up and down. We're focusing on the pelvis, gliding along the femur. We're looking for that internal rotation, and this is going to clear up a lot of the space there in the hips so that I'm able to run more freely, I'm able to walk more freely, I can do lunges, squats, all those kinds of exercises that we like to do. But more than anything, it's just going to make my hips work like hips are supposed to, and that just makes for a better human. If you want to be a good, solid, strong human first before an athlete. So this is one of those moves that will facilitate that. Whew. Not easy, very simple, and it looks like there's not much going on there, but as I'm moving up and down there, I start to feel the work on my hips, inside here on my groin area, and even on my low abdominals, just from maintaining that position. So give this a shot. This has been, like I said, a very, very effective movement in terms of my health for my hips, in terms of creating more space there in the joint capsule so that the hip has more more room to move freely. You know, it unlocks, for lack of a better term, it's gonna unlock more movement. It's gonna hopefully allow you to have less pain, less tightness, and less discomfort overall. Not just in the hip, but because everything's connected, it kind of translates into a healthier low back as well, into just overall better hips and core. So hopefully you find that a little bit effective. Hopefully it fits into your training plan and just into your everyday life. This is good for anybody really struggling with hip and back problems. Let me give you all a different look here and see if from right there we can get a good view. Down here, like so. I think that's good right there. Putting pressure into the wall, squeezing the roller, hips up off the ground. One goes up, one goes down, and then we switch. Straight up and down right there. Very, very simple, but not easy, but very, very effective. Straight up and down. I'm doing my best to keep my hips from going side to side here. Do a few more reps. Kind of felt my hips, they're going side to side, so I'm going to do a few more. Focus a little bit more. Woo. All right, that's going to be it for that. So give it a shot, see how it feels. That's it, really. I can't recommend this movement enough. It's been a game changer for me, so hopefully it can do the same for you. Give it a shot. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how you can fit. If you have any doubts or concerns or questions about the movement, how you can fit it into your schedule and what it can do for you. So I'll be happy to help you out. Peace.